So, you're a wrestler now. Huh, Zuck? You're a wrestler now. All of a sudden, Mark Zuckerberg comes on the JRE podcast. For those of you who don't have a Spotify account, that's a Joe Rogan podcast. Some of you might be a little bit late to the game. I still remember back in the day. I feel I'm talking about back in the old days when the McChicken was only $1.07 and the Joe Rogan podcast. You know, some people only know that the Joe Rogan podcast was on YouTube and they don't even know that it was live. Like if you were there when it was live, like some people don't even understand what it used to be like. There was a whole culture, there was an atmosphere. But I digress. Mark Zuckerberg came onto the Joe Rogan Experience all of a sudden claiming that he trains UFC. All of a sudden acting all hard and everything. I would say thank you. Come on. Why is my phone telling me that I just went live? Like if I'm subscribed to myself. I never seen that before. Come on. Chill Jefe 4 days. Hey. Oh, Zuckerberg hacked me. I was going to go 5 days, but I forgot what happened one of the days. I think I had to go run some errands or something like that. Come on. I'm only planning on increasing. Next week, I'm going to do 8 days. I'm going to go 8 days a week. I'm going to keep going. Love streaming. 8. Look at Mark Zuckerberg came onto the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, whatever, and he's saying that he trains UFC. All of a sudden, that he just started training within the last year or so. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder what happened within the last year or so. I'll give you a moment. Moment's over. Look it. I don't know if any of you remember. Because some of you, myself included, don't always watch every single one of the UFC cards. I know we show up for the pay-per-views and whatnot, but every once in a while in between, you get like UFC France, UFC London, UFC Delaware, whatever they are. They end up in different places. Apparently in March, and I didn't even see this one. I had to do my research, my due diligence. In March, something happened. Something went down at UFC London in regards to Mark Zuckerberg. You know what I'm talking about? I'll give you a moment. Moment's over because this is live. I don't want to lose my momentum. Mark Zuckerberg got called out. Mark Zuckerberg got called out at UFC London. Let me lace you up real quick. Paddy the Fatty, a.k.a. Pee-Pee, Paddy Pimblett. There you go. Some people already know what's up. Paddy Pimblett was at UFC London. He wins his fight. And he cuts the promo. He gets on the mic. They're like, who do you want to call out next? He's like, I'll let you know who I want next. I want Mark Zuckerberg. He said, I'm going to punch you in the face. He threatened him. He threatened him on the mic. He says, I'm calling out Mark Zuckerberg because that fool banned me on Instagram and Facebook. He's a bully. I want to let him know what's up. I'll lose 60 pounds to fight that fool. I'm going to let him know what's up. He called them out. Mark Zuckerberg's out there with his meats and everything, with his foil. I don't even know what foiling was until today. Apparently, it's like a technological savvy way of surfing or something like that. For people who don't want to actually surf, they're out there foiling or something like that. I don't understand it. You could let me know the details if you have any idea what foiling is. It's like the modern surfing or something like that. But this gets back to Mark Zuckerberg. All of a sudden, he starts training. He starts dropping names. Oh, Sifu Camarillo. Oh, have you heard Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah, that's my gym and everything. I go and roll 8 times a week. No big deal. Let's be real. The only person that could claim they train UFC is CM Punk. Started at the top. Now he's where? Started at the top. Now he's where? I never heard that before. That's funny. Respect. So Paddy Pimblett, after UFC London, he comes on because he got banned on Facebook. He got banned on Instagram. He calls out Mark Zuckerberg, cuts the promo, says he's going to punch his head in. And then since then, apparently, in case you want to go do your research, it looks like Paddy Pimblett has made himself a new Instagram under a new name. And it looks like his Facebook got reinstated. I do my due diligence. I'm telling you, I'm the Mexican Ariel Hawani. Even though I want to have no affiliation to him, it's just a point of reference because I know a lot of you know who that fool is. And then he also got banned on Twitter, which has nothing to do with Zuckerberg, but that fool Parag Agrawal is gonna have to he's probably gonna have to start training too, because he got Paddy got banned on Twitter as well, so he's probably gonna be looking for trouble in that arena as well. I thought the other fool still owned it, that other annoying fool with the goatee, but I guess he sold it to Parag Agrawal. I barely found that out today too. I forgot what the other fool's name was. But Zuckerberg, like, supposedly at first, because I've been into the forums and I've been digging, I've been trying to find out what's going on. Supposedly at first, Zuckerberg wasn't too worried about it. He's like, I don't care about that fool. I got walls. I got layers of protection. Nobody's going to get to me. I could do whatever I want. Fool's probably going to go out there and attack Dave Portnoy thinking that he's me. I'm not worried about nothing. That fool's always out there going from pizza to pizza, always out there in the street, like unprotected and everything, just him and a cameraman and a box of pizza between them. Like, I'm not worried about nothing. That fool's going to get rolled up on. I'm going to be out here on my foil and everything in Kauai or whatever. I didn't even know. I thought Hawaii was an island. Apparently, there's like 7 different islands that make up the Hawaii island. I've been doing a lot of research today. I'm telling you. Hawaii has a lot more depth than I thought it did. But he starts training. And it was weird watching the JRE. I haven't watched the Joe Rogan Experience in I don't know how long, but I heard the buzz that this fool trains UFC, and I started researching. I'll see clips of JRE and stuff like that on YouTube, but I don't get on Spotify. It's a mess. I don't really know what's going on over there. But when you watch the JRE episode with Mark Zuckerberg, it definitely has like a payola, plugola, quid pro quo, you take my back, I take yours kind of feel. It's kind of weird. It felt a little bit dirty, a little bit slimy. You know, Mark Zuckerberg comes on for like the whole first hour and a half. He's plugging his VR. He's plugging all his new inventions and creations. Oh, it's coming out in October. What a surprise. Just in time for Christmas. They're going to make the Oculus 3 or whatever it is. He's talking about all his stuff, talking about how virtual reality is the future, talking about how you could just work at home in your chonies and, you know, you could be over here in Fort Lauderdale and you're doing work that supposedly if you were actually in the office, it would be like over there in Germany, and you could just do whatever you want, wherever you want. You could have coffee with someone in New Amsterdam, and he's plugging this thing. And then right after that, they're talking about jujitsu. So Joe Rogan's like, I gotta get mine if you're gonna get yours. You know, if you can come on and talk about your thing, I need you being who you are at the top of all this, in charge of like 3.5 billion people and all these people use. I need you to plug BJJ now, because I've been plugging BJJ. And people don't care what I have to say. People are always like trying to smear me on Twitter and saying this and that about me and taking me out of context and saying a lot of stuff in context, because I also say a lot of stupid stuff. But they already heard what I had to say about BJJ. I need you to talk about it. I need you to come on and be acting objective. I need you to come on with the fan base and the audience that you have. I need you to come on and bring your 3.5 billion audience on there, because even though I got a big audience, I don't got 3.5 billion, especially since I went to Spotify. So he's talking about VR. He's talking about meta. He's talking about playing poker with cards that aren't even real. And then he starts talking about BJJ and how it's the best. And he even starts, and it was a little bit distorted, you know, in the way that he was talking about it, because Mike Alfieri, what? This fool stays gifting. This fool on the 4th day of Christmas, Mike Alfieri gave to me. This fool stays giving memberships. That's the homie that keeps on giving. Woo! There's a lucky person in the chat today. Boss Squeeze, your sucker punch as good as Menos Vidal? I don't got a sucker punch. I don't roll up on fools like that. So I'm going to have to say no. That was a trick question. And I respect you for that. Trying to keep people on their toes. Zorp and Pia, welcome to the 99 Squad. Thank you for joining the YouTube membership family. Scope out the community tab so you can see all the behind the scenes stuff. I think I'm going to make a new one today. I think I'm going to make a new installment of my commentary series where I go back through my library of videos and I talk about them and stuff like that. I'm planning on making one today, so scope that out. Look it. Zuckerberg came on there and I don't know the whole thing about Paddy. Look, I'm going to leave it at that. I just could tell that that's where the origins came from. Because Paddy calls him out. That was in March of 2022. He barely called him out. And Joe Rogan's like, when did you start training? He's like, within the last year. I think it was within the last year. Yeah. He starts training all of a sudden since this fool says he's going to punch his face in because he deactivated the Instagram and the Facebook. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. So I don't know. I went in and I went out today. I went in real quick to do my research, and it looks like the Facebook is there, but I don't spend a lot of time on that. I don't know a whole lot about Zuckerberg. I just barely, just like Joe Rogan, I've been staying out of it since he went to Spotify. Zuckerberg, I stay out of it. I don't use Facebook a lot because I don't appreciate Mark Zuckerberg. The only reason he wants me there, and he's trying to lure me in with this and that and all these different innovations and creations and whatnot, and he's just trying to sell my information to advertisers. And I don't appreciate that. But that reminds me, this episode is brought to you by the Ridge wallet. And Mark Zuckerberg's coming on there. He's like, fools, you don't even need wallets. You don't need actual poker cards. You don't need an actual desk at work. You don't need an actual cubicle or even an office. You don't need a wallet. He's like, let me hold your cash. I'll hold your cash for you. I'll hold your wallet. You just need a virtual wallet. Homie, you don't need a virtual wallet. You need the Ridge wallet. He's like, no, I'm trying to alleviate your back pain. I'm trying to help fools. I'm trying to make the world better. Let me tell you something. Let me just take a pause right now and tell you something. Anytime you hear somebody, and I want you to write this down. Anytime you hear somebody telling you they're trying to make the world better, keep your eyes open, fool. Anytime you see someone slip that in, I'm just trying to make the world a better place than when I can. Watch your back, all right? They always got those interior motives. I'm going to stop it right there because I got this thing that I get. Look at. He's trying to talk about back pain and trying to heal people for the future and try their physicality, and he wants them to have a good quality of life and stuff. I'm like, fool, I'm not sitting on my wallet. I'm not under the illusion that I'm gonna hatch anything out of here. All right, I'm be keeping this in my front pocket. It's a front pocket wallet. He's like, yeah, but like, you don't want to have a big old bulge in your pocket and stuff like that. I had an uncle that did that. He's not even allowed to go to the park anymore. I'm like, fool, look it's slim. And I know what you're thinking. How is it slim if it fits up to 12 cards? Because of innovation. You know what I'm talking about, Zuckerberg? You know a thing or two about innovation because of innovation, because it's 2022, because of minimalism. I'm not keeping receipts in here. I'm not keeping family photos in here. I know what they look like. I got a good enough memory. There's my Tío Beto. There's my Elena. There's my kids. I know what they look like. I don't know how we got caught up in this racket in the first place. Big wallets since back in the 19 whatever, when they start making these things, all the different materials, it's unnecessary. I could see everybody right now. And if I can't, I got them in my phone. And it's safe. I don't need to hide behind any kind of a virtual reality wall. It's RFID blocking. And if you don't like my style, which is weird because it's the best one they offer, carbon fiber, there's different styles and colors that you could choose from. It's real. You could touch it. You could smell it. You keep your cars in there. But what about cash? I want to be innovative. I want to live here in the now in 2022, but I want to use my cash. You could keep it in the strap. Yeah, but like, what about my coins? I like to jiggle them in my pocket. I like to hear them. I like to smell coins. They have a really pleasant smell. I don't know if that's just a thing personally, but I like how coins smell. You could keep them in the cash. I mean, they've thought of everything. There's no ending to the innovation that Ridge Wallet has to offer. Promo code is VOTO, VOTO. Go to ridge.com/VOTO. Put in the promo code VOTO for 10% off. Ridge.com/VOTO. Put in the promo code VOTO for 10% off and get yours today. Look it. Zuckerberg gets threatened by Paddy the Fatty, a.k.a. Beepy, a.k.a. Paddy Pimblett. He takes up BJJ. He starts talking about how he made a critical error when he was in high school, how he took up fencing instead of wrestling, and he altered the whole course of his life. That supposedly he could at least be Bellator world champion right now in his weight division. Maybe UFC, but at least Bellator. He's coming in with his regrets and stuff like that. I could have been a contender, talking about wrestling, talking about MMA. I train UFC. He's all on board now. He's loving it. He's saying that he can't surf anymore because he left Hawaii and he has to be over here. And where's he at now? Palo Alto or something like that. And they don't got the waves like they got over there in Hawaii. And now he's getting into it at this late age. And now he's thinking about fighting Dan Hardy and like that fool from Saved by the Bell. Because supposedly all these old celebrities are finally getting into BJJ. And now they're competing. It's a big thing. I think it's fascinating. I think it's interesting. And TB's _TV. Hey, thank you. What does that say? Number 1, thank you. I appreciate you. Look, I'm going to leave it at this. I'm gonna leave it at this. I never done anything like this before, and I never thought I was gonna do anything like this before. And I always speak out against it, but I want to say something. Zuckerberg, you want to come onto the JRE podcast, acting all hard and everything, talking about how you took a wrong turn and now you're rectifying that, and how all of a sudden it was in your blood, and this is who you really are and everything, and you're finally transcending at this stage in your life, and you're grappling and you're wrestling, and I just want to tell you that if you really want to test your skills and really see how good you are, I'll call you out to a grappling match, Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm not talking about VR. I'm not talking about VR. And this is a one-on-one thing. I'm not calling out the Weasel. I'm not calling out Ariel Hawani. I'm not calling out Brendan Straw. I'm calling out Zuckerberg. I challenge you to a grappling match. And I'm not even gonna pretend that you don't know how to find me, because I know you're listening, fool. I know you're listening, because the other day I was talking about a new grill and it showed up on my phone with the quickness. I know you're listening to me. So Zuckerberg, just go ahead and appear on my phone. I don't care if I'm on the toilet. I don't care if I'm in the car or what. Hit me up, Mark. And I want to see if you really do train UFC. All right? I want to see that Gorilla BJJ in action. All right? It's time for some of that guerrilla warfare. All right, fool? I see you soon, boy. I see you soon, boy.